you could build a grand coalition away from two-party politics. And Reform's message should be, we don't care who you are, what party you supported in the past. If you now are trying to fight for the survival of this country, then this is the party for you. Did you hear that, Nigel? Because you're an avid listener to my podcast. So have you heard that? Me and Ash are giving you advice here, free of charge. If you want any more advice, we're going to have to charge you, but you can have that advice free of charge. What I'd like Reform to do is what Trump's done. Have a look at all the issues that Reform are going to fight on and get a spokesperson for each issues. Just like Trump's got Rivik and got Elon and got RFJ and got all these different people who don't agree on everything, but in that one specific field, they're an expert in and have the right idea for that one field. So, because at the moment it still is a one-man band, it still is the Nigel Farage show. And that's great, but you're not going to win on just the personality of one man. So that he needs to give up some of that power, and he needs to start recruiting some people to be the spokespeople for different issues, people who are charismatic, people, the guy who's one of the co-founders of Greenpeace is actually anti-net zero.
Yeah, he is. I can't think of his name now. You're right, he is.
Patrick Moore. So, I'm not saying him particularly, but someone like him to attack the green agenda because he's got all the credentials to do it.
Yes. Put the right people in the right jobs, yeah.
Yeah. And then if you wanted someone to look at social issues, then someone like me with my background would be good at that. Then let's get, policing. There's people out there who, former chief constables or former detective sergeants, someone like that who can talk about crime and you start building a coalition because those people will bring other people on board who won't join because we don't like Nigel Farage because he's a Marmite character. Some people love him, some people hate him. But do you know what? I'm going to vote for Reform because I like the person about the green agenda. So you start, that's what Trump's done. People voted for Trump, not because they like Trump, but they like some of the people under him who are going to do a lot of the work.
Yeah, oh yeah, and as you said, Trump surrounded himself with some fantastic people. I watched that Vivek in the run-up. In fact, he ran to be the nominee first, didn't he? And then he pulled out to back Trump. And he is one of the best speakers I've ever seen. He's absolutely fantastic. And Elon Musk, well, he comes with a lot of financial clout as well, doesn't he? But he doesn't mind going to war with the British government, and that's exactly what he's been doing. And just watch when he talks about government waste and what's he called, Doge, isn't it? The Department of Government Efficiency, I think he's going to call it. He's going to upset some people, and he doesn't care. And RFK Jr. again, fantastic advocate, and let's not forget a former Democrat, which is the most important thing. Yeah, he brought Democrats over, didn't he? Just as what's the other Democrat that went back Trump? Tulsi Gabbard, is it Gabbard?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, she went and backed Trump as well, didn't she? So yeah, I mean, who Farage gets in, that Greenpeace guy would certainly be a good one to get in. Crime, you've got people like Peter Blexley that used to be in the police. They were flying squad or something like that. You can get all these people in, and you can guarantee now they know a hell of a lot more about what they're talking about on their given subject than anybody sat inside Parliament.
Yeah, absolutely. And that then is the grand coalition. And then it isn't just a Nigel Farage show. And if there is someone out there who's a former Labour minister who now rejects Labour, but is an expert in something, someone like that would be the RFK scenario that it comes from the opposite party. And now that you could build a grand coalition away from two-party politics. And Reform's message should be, we don't care who you are, what party you supported in the past. If you now are trying to fight for the survival of this country, then this is the party for you. And then you will have former Labour supporters who can't stand Farage voting for Reform. You will have former Green Party members who think the Green Party now is got a lunatics will start voting for Reform. And it's that grand coalition. The days of these party politics that Reform are trying to copy, they're gone. Or they should be gone. They should be gone.
Party politics is what's wrong with our politics, ironically. The party system is the worst thing that could have happened. I mean, at least with a presidential system, I know they represent parties, But you've got a bit more. The presidents have a bit more say, don't they? I'm not saying I want a presidential system or anything like that, but it does have its benefits. And the problem now is, of course, it's always party before country. I don't care what crap they come out and tell us. It's always party before country with all of them. It's all about the next election. They're already thinking about, even though they just won a general election, they're already thinking about the next one. And until then, they're just going to bumble along like they do and see how far they get. Try not to drop too much in the polls. Let's try and get elected for another 5 years, I'm afraid. But yeah, I mean, if you could build some sort of grand coalition like that and have people from all sort, I mean, they sort of did it with the Brexit Party a little bit when they brought forward the nominees for the European Parliament. There was people like Jacob Rees-Mogg's sister who decided to stand for Brexit Party. There was Anne Widdecombe, of course, former Conservative.
Claire Fox.
Claire Fox, exactly, former Labour peer, isn't she?
But she's an independent, but she started off as a revolutionary communist.
Oh, did she? I
Yeah,
actually thought she was ex-Labour. I didn't know she was a revolutionary
yeah, she's a
communist.
revolutionary communist. Not so
Well,
much
she's
now, but yes,
no,
he created a grand coalition.
yeah, and there's no reason they can't do that again. Like you said, there must be people out there that are unhappy with the left. I see people all the time talking on the media saying, I'm still left, but the left have left me, if you will. They've gone further off that way. So yeah, there's definitely scope for that, and it's surprising really that a guy, someone like Farage, who politically is very bright, hasn't actually spoke to Trump and hasn't noticed what Trump did. Maybe they are doing it. For all we know, they might be doing this behind the scenes, but it's taking too long to do it. And you're quite right when you say they've got to start hammering home some of these issues and make themselves look like the official opposition, even though there's only five of them look like the official opposition because that's what Rupert Lowe's doing. And if the rest of them start doing it, then I mean, Farage could hammer them on economic policies. Quite a few of them could. They've all worked in their own businesses. So Farage was a stockbroker and all that. They can really hammer home some important messages inside the Commons as well. It's just, I just wish they'd start doing it. Get on with it.
Yeah, I hope they're already doing it. They're planning it. They're putting it all in place, and I hope that me and you are just a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Impatient. So let's see what happens next year, and maybe they're waiting for the council elections. Maybe they're waiting for Labour to get annihilated, them to do okay, and then they announce a grand coalition.
Maybe, but I would say that you need one to do the other. I think don't play it safe till the local elections. You want to. Farage has said this. They need to do anything decent in the next general election. They need to do well in the local elections to get that footprint, to get the local, what do you call it, activists that on the ground and the councillors. So before then, they're going to need a big profile. They're going to need people sick to death of hearing about Reform UK, and that's what they're going to need before those elections take place. So that means now make a name for yourself. Start talking about these controversial issues that you're shying away from. And as you said, if that's because they don't know enough about them or they might get caught out, then go and get the right people who can talk about them or at least can advise you on what to say inside Parliament.
Right? Did you hear that, Nigel? Because you're an avid listener to my podcast. So have you heard that? Me and Ash are giving you advice here, free of charge. If you want any more advice, we're going to have to charge you, but you can have that advice free of charge.